Summertime has officially arrived, for me at least, and it's getting hot. And today I'm going to share with you 5 summertime sippers. These cocktails are great anytime, but especially in the summer. For me, a summer drink is not overly sweet, it's not too complex, not hard to make, and it's usually not blended or even a slushie of any kind. Instead, it's spirit forward, served with lots of ice, and something strong enough that you can take your sweet time with. So you can sip on that thing, and melting ice is not the enemy. Now, first up is one of the best cocktails of all time, the Daiquiri. But the problem with daiquiris is that they die, often within a minute or two of being served. So this daiquiri is going to be served on ice, and because of that, I'm bumping up the proof. In addition to a light rum, I'm using an overproof Jamaican rum as well. Now, more flavor and more ABV mean it can hold up to that ice melting. So let's make a daiquiri on ice. I'll start with 1 ounce of lime juice, half an ounce of a rich simple syrup, 1.5 ounces of a light rum, and half an ounce of an overproof Jamaican rum. There you have it, a simple daiquiri on ice. Let's try it. Cheers. Not only did I use that overproof Jamaican rum, which is 63% alcohol, but my light rum is a little bit higher proof too, 43.5. So as this melts, it's already melting. You're still going to get plenty of rum flavor. If you want something that's more tart, you can use more lime juice, but a lot of people like to make their daiquiris with 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. In this case, I'm using 1. Bump up the sweetness. All the drinks today, you should be modifying for your level of sweetness that you want and your acidity level that you want for what works best for you. I just love this because you still get that light rum fruitiness. It doesn't get lost in the ice. And if you want to lengthen this even more, just add a little bit of soda water. It's still going to be delicious. Now, another excellent summer cocktail is a Planter's Punch. It's also my favorite cocktail. And there are no rules for exactly what a Planter's Punch must be, but I usually try to keep it pretty simple. Today, though, I'm going to do something a little different and use tea as the weak component of this drink in addition to ice. Now, you can use any tea that you like. I'm going to use a black tea, and you can even use flavored teas. I'm going to build this one in the glass and swizzle it, starting with 4 dashes of angostura bitters, 1 ounce of lemon juice, 3/4 ounces of a rich simple syrup, 2 ounces of cold tea, and 2.5 ounces of Jamaican rum. So there you go, a Planter's Punch. Before we taste it, I forgot one detail here with the garnish. It is a little bit of freshly grated nutmeg. Cheers. I usually don't do the iced tea aspect of a Planter's Punch. I often also use lime juice, but you can mix up lemon juice, lime juice. You don't want to use the tea, you want something stronger, then just do the same thing I did. Add more ice, swizzle it for a little bit longer, so you're getting more dilution there from water. But the tea in here just complements the lemon and the rum. It just lengthens it out, but it's not like a boozy iced tea either. It's very subtle. It's very mild. And if you're someone who doesn't like bitter or the tannins you can get from a tea, you're not really tasting that here. There's enough sweetness, enough acidity, enough rum to mellow out any of the tannins in the tea. I'm telling you, it doesn't get much more simple than this Planter's Punch, and it's not going to get much better than this either. Now, one of my favorite all-time cocktails is a Tom Collins, and you can follow the recipe I'm about to share and use gin to make yourself a regular traditional Tom Collins, but instead, I'm going to use a light rum, making this a Ron Collins. In a shaker tin, I'm going to add 1 ounce of lemon juice, half an ounce of simple syrup, and 2 ounces of light rum. top this with some club soda. There you have it, the Ron Collins. When I was a young man, the Tom Collins was the drink I ordered when I went out, and bartenders would always look at me funny, but who's laughing now? So let's try a Ron Collins. Cheers. I've not had a Ron Collins in a long time, and as I taste this, you're kind of expecting, or at least for me, for someone who's had a lot of Tom Collinses in their life, you're expecting that finish to have that note of juniper, which you don't have here. Instead, you have tropical fruitiness from the rum. So use a light tropical fruity rum that's going to come through. It's replacing that botanical juniper note you get in a regular Tom Collins. They are different drinks, equally delicious. One is not better than the other. If you love gin, if you want gin this summer, put gin in this. But if you want to mix it up and try something different, then you should try a light rum. I think this might be the perfect summer drink. The more I have of this, the more I want of it. Light, refreshing, fruity, a little bit of the bubbles and effervescence from the soda with just like a nice bit of sweetness and the tartness from the lemon. It's hard. It's gonna be hard to beat this for any summer drink. It is close to perfect. The Jungle Bird is a great summer cocktail. This drink contains Campari, and Campari, as well as other bitter liqueurs, work well in the summer. Too many people reach for sweet, but things that are bitter will actually quench your thirst. But this is a true Jungle Bird after all, so it will have some sweetness to it as well. Now, a lot of the modern takes on this use a very divisive dark rum. Some might say that objectively this is the worst rum of all time, but some people like it. Not many, but some. Instead, I'm changing that up and using instead one of the top dark rums from my blind taste test. And yeah, this is cheap, but it tastes great. Now, this is not the original Jungle Bird recipe either. This is my take on a Jungle Bird fit for the summertime. I'll start with 3/4 ounces of lime juice, 1 ounce of pineapple juice, a scant ½ ounce of a rich simple syrup, ½ an ounce of Campari, and 2 ounces of dark rum. There you go, the Jungle Bird. Let's try this Jungle Bird. Cheers. Even with just ½ an ounce of Campari, it's still there. Up front, you get the pineapple juice, some of the dark rum, you get more of that fruitiness. And then the Campari and the bitterness lingers there on your palate after taking a sip. And that is what quenches your thirst. More and more sugar in a drink, the more and more sugar you want. But the bitterness here helps just quench it. I mean, if you think about a gin and tonic is a great example of that bitterness helping quench your thirst. Here, the Campari's doing a bit of that work, but everything's balanced out. Nice rumminess, nice sweetness, nice bitterness. So if you're looking to make a Jungle Bird that's just a little bit different from maybe the ones that you've had, you should try this one. Final drink today is another tall, refreshing, and cooling drink, the Queen's Park Swizzle. And the original recipe for this is unknown, and the oldest recipe we have comes from Trader Vic, and he calls to use a Demerara rum. And I want to keep this lighter and use a light Demerara rum, and we'll float the angostura on top, even though I don't know if that's authentic or not, but it does look pretty cool. So into a glass, I'm going to add 6 to 8 mint leaves and a spent lime wedge. Then 1 ounce of lime juice, ½ an ounce of a rich simple syrup, and 3 full ounces of a light Demerara rum. Now finally, I'm going to float some Angostura bitters on top. So there you go, the Queen's Park Swizzle. What's fun about a layered cocktail like this is you can move your straw around to get kind of different elements of the drink. Put it at the bottom, you get some of the mintiness. In the middle, you're going to get more of the rumminess. You pull it towards the top, you'll get the angostura, or you can mix it all together. But I'm going to start right now in the middle. Cheers. Don't tell anybody. I don't want to like lose my streak cred, but I don't like mojitos. I've never really liked mojitos, but maybe that's because the ones I grew up trying and having were Bacardi Superior with those shards of mint, which I just don't like. I don't like the shards of mint. In a Queen's Park Swizzle, you don't need to muddle it. This is not a muddled mint drink, but even so, just having the mint there at the bottom, you're going to taste it. It's going to give you that mintiness. And then the angostura bitters here, as you mix it in and incorporate it to your drink, it just makes the drink better. It is just so vibrant and fresh and refreshing that it just makes you want to drink more and more of it over time, responsibly, of course. It is possibly, I don't want to say that it's more perfect than a Ron Collins for a summer drink, but it might be. So there you go, folks. 5 summertime cocktails, 5 summertime sippers. And what's great about these is in the summertime, it's hot. I don't want to be prepping for cocktails. There is nothing in any of these drinks that requires you to make a specialty syrup, to infuse something. It's taking stuff off your shelf. In this case, just a few bottles of rum. You need some simple syrup or some rich simple syrup and some fresh juices. That's all you really need to make delicious, amazing cocktails at home, better than most of the cocktails you'll find out there in the world. We don't have to make things overly complicated all the time. Sometimes that's fun, but not always. Sometimes I just want a drink that is delicious. Every one of these is delicious and amazing and incredible. And if you make any of these, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like below. Consider subscribing to the channel. And if you want to support this channel more, go check out my Patreon page. Otherwise, see you in the next one. I'm telling you, I love these all, but this summer, these are the 2 I'm going to come back to the most.